Ever feel like your business growth is just a total guessing game? One month is great, the next is mystery. Well, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're diving into something called growth systems. It's an operating model that's all about taking that guesswork out of revenue and replacing it with something predictable. Let's dig in and see how it really works. Man, this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that feeling so many of us have. You're working so hard, creating great stuff, putting it out there, and then what? You basically just cross your fingers and hope the algorithm decides to like you today. But we all know, hope, that's not a business strategy you can count on. And this is exactly what you get when you run on hope. You get a whole lot of noise. A post goes viral, you get a big spike in followers, but when you look at the bank account, nothing's really changed. It's this super frustrating loop of making content and buying ads with absolutely no idea what's actually going to work.
Okay, but what if you could just completely flip that script? I mean, really, imagine it. What if you could look at the next quarter and forecast your revenue with real confidence? What if you knew exactly which levers to pull to make your business grow, not by accident, but totally by design? That's the promise we're going to explore right now.
So the solution to all that chaos is to install an operating system for your revenue. And you should think of it literally like installing Windows or Mac OS on a computer. It gives you the structure, the rules, the whole framework that lets everything else run the way it's supposed to. This is all about moving from chaos to control. So what is Growth Systems exactly? Well, think of it as a modular system, kind of like building with Legos, that you install piece by piece. It standardizes how you attract your audience, how you turn them into paying customers, and, super importantly, how you keep them coming back. The whole goal here is to build a well-oiled growth machine. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty, starting with the foundation, audience and acquisition. This all kicks off with getting crystal clear on your ideal customer profile. I mean, who are you really for? Once you know that, then you can build a smart strategy around the platforms they actually use in the content they're going to love. This also means figuring out the right mix of paid ads and organic content while keeping a super close eye on your customer acquisition cost, or CAC. The system forces you to set a budget for every new customer and stick to it. All right, so you've got their attention. Now what? The next batch of modules is all about turning that attention into revenue. It starts with your offer architecture. You can picture it like a ladder of your products, from maybe a free download all the way up to your most premium service. Then you build out a super smooth conversion system. That means great landing pages and an easy checkout process. And finally, and this part is huge, you map out the entire customer journey to keep people hooked and build a genuine community. It's not just about the sale, it's about what happens after. And the last piece of the puzzle is the operational backbone that holds this whole thing together. This means you need one place for all your important data. The system calls it a rev board that tracks the handful of metrics that actually matter. It also means creating simple, clear, standard operating procedures, or SOPs, and getting into a weekly growth rhythm. This is what makes sure the engine is running smoothly week in and week out. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually get this system up and running? Well, the source material lays out a really clear 5-phase blueprint. It's a roadmap to take a business from where it is today to a full-blown growth operation. Let's take a quick look. What's so impressive about this is that it's not some vague someday promise. It is a time-bound plan. You start with just 1 week to figure out where you stand. Then you spend the next couple of weeks on pure strategy. After that, you get to building. The idea is to be fully launched and operational in about 2 months. And from there, it's all about scaling up what's working. So, why would you go through all this trouble? Because the outcomes are real. They're tangible, and like the title says, you can literally bank on them. This is the real payoff you get for trading in all that guesswork for a system. This slide just illustrates that shift in thinking perfectly. I mean, look at the left column. That's the old way. Chasing vanity metrics, praying to the algorithm gods, and just burning through cash. Now look at the right. A system with financial guardrails. This means hard limits on how much you'll spend to get a customer, minimum profit margins on everything you sell, and crystal clear targets for how fast you earn your money back. It's a whole different ballgame. And this table just sums up that transformation beautifully. Your visibility goes from fuzzy vanity metrics to sharp investor-grade data. Scaling goes from just burning cash to hitting specific payback goals. And maybe my favorite one, team's vibe, goes from total chaos to operational calm. I mean, just that last one alone is a massive, massive win.
Okay, so at this point, you're probably asking yourself, is this system actually the right fit for my business? And that is a super important question, right? Because no single model is going to work for absolutely everyone. Let's see who this is really designed for.
This system is really built for businesses where content is what drives the demand. So think creators, studios, direct-to-consumer brands. And the sweet spot is for teams that are already doing somewhere between $250,000 and $10 million in revenue. So you've already found something that works. Now you just need a system to scale it predictably. This is a big one. You hear the word system, and it can sound like you need a huge team and a massive budget to actually make it run, right? And the answer is a very clear and very direct no. You can absolutely start lean. The most important thing is having one person, just one, who owns the growth rhythm. That person, plus the people who are actually creating the product or the content, that's really all you need to get this thing off the ground. Here's another really common question. What if you're already working with a marketing agency or an ad agency? Does putting a system like this in place make them obsolete? I absolutely love this answer. The system doesn't replace your agencies, it governs them. It becomes the central command center for your entire growth strategy. Your agencies then just plug into that system, and you give them clear targets and what are called SLAs, or service level agreements. It puts you back in the driver's seat, and they execute based on your playbook. And so that brings us right back to where we started. This is the one question this whole thing really boils down to. I want you to take a hard look at your own business, your own project. Is it success running on hope and guesswork? Or is it being powered by a predictable, repeatable system? Because the answer to that question, well, it could change everything for you.